she says shit on a regular basis. They just happen to coincide. But can I just say this? I had on last week Ira Glasser, former longtime head of the ACLU, talking about free speech. Whoopi Goldberg, who, by the way, I hope is still a friend, we can disagree with each other, should not be canceled or put off her show, as much as I totally disagree with her crazy statement. In 3 years as vice president, she's been quieter than an electric car. It's not fair that she's not popular. She's intelligent and accomplished, and in fact, was put in charge of the border. And look at how, okay, bad example.
You just got to keep your eyes open, y'all, because if they can just come up and take somebody because they've made a decision that you're supposed to be that person, any one of us could find ourselves being deported.
Whoopi Goldberg just went off again. Another round of nonsense on The View. But this time, Bill Maher shut it down fast. While Whoopi tried to sound deep, Maher sliced through her rant, exposing every contradiction. The panel froze, the laughter died, and suddenly the queens of truth had nothing left to say. So what did Whoopi say that pushed Maher over the edge? This wasn't a debate, it was a public takedown.
And you just got to keep your eyes open, y'all, because if they can just come up and take somebody because they've made a decision that you're supposed to be that person, any one of us could find ourselves being deported to some country.
Don't give them any ideas, girl.
Well, listen.
Sometimes it's actually easier on the ears to listen to a banshee scream into the night than to endure another Whoopi Goldberg meltdown on The View. At least the banshee hits a few notes. Whoopi's stuck on one. Loud, self-righteous, and completely detached from reality. Her latest revelation: apparently ICE is hiding in the shadows, waiting to swoop in and deport random Americans. Yes, you heard that right. Whoopi seems convinced we're one bad parking ticket away from getting shipped off to a country we've never even been to. Where does she get this stuff? A fever dream? A late night conspiracy binge? Or maybe she's just playing political Mad Libs and hoping no one notices how absurd it sounds. Either way, it's logic-free hysteria and unintentionally pure comedy gold.
Were these people that they deported already in jail? Or were they people that they picked up? It's part of the problem, I think, for many people is you do stuff and nobody has any idea what's going on, you know? So because you have swept up many people in ICE who had no business being swept up. You swept up people who had no names, who are American citizens, and you don't pay attention to that. So people are saying, what is happening?
Let's pause for a second. Whoopi Goldberg's latest rant is begging for a Bill Maher reality check. But before that happens, let's get real. When did common sense vanish from the conversation? Politicians create chaos, ignore it for years, and then act shocked when someone finally tries to fix it. And the media? Silent when it matters, loud when it's convenient. Whoopi's sudden outrage would be funny if it weren't so predictable. Maher said it best: you can't break the system, pretend it's fine, then whine about the cleanup. Same government playbook, different day.
In 3 years as vice president, she's been quieter than an electric car. It's not fair that she's not popular. She's intelligent and accomplished, and in fact was put in charge of the border. And look at how, okay, bad example.
This went down a few months ago, but it perfectly exposes Whoopi's worn-out narrative. And honestly, are we surprised? Not at all. She and her crew on The View seem to have made it their full-time job to rile up outrage over every administration. Yet no matter how hard they try to spin the story, the facts just won't play along. Their accusations fizzle, their takes collapse, and all that's left is a spectacular dumpster fire of performative outrage. Maybe if they spent less time chasing headlines and more time facing reality, they'd realize the real issues aren't about partisan villains. They're about mismanaged policies that actually affect people. But admitting that would ruin the narrative, so the rants keep coming, and we're all stuck watching the train wreck in real time.
Well, listen, you know, it is very clear to me that if we don't continue to say, listen, I understand you want to clean out all the bad stuff. I get it. But why do you now have access to my personal information? I get what the things you're trying to do. I don't understand why you're taking my stuff, not my personally, but each and every one of you.
And your constitutional rights of free speech.
Rights of free speech. which, everybody says, you never let us say anything. We're, conservatives. And in fact, you're doing the same thing you are accusing everyone else of doing.
Wait, what? We were talking about tracking criminals, and suddenly Whoopi's on a free speech tangent. At this point, she either needs a break from The View or a reality check. Tracking dangerous individuals isn't guesswork. Some innocent info might get caught up. No system's perfect, but scrapping the whole program like Whoopi suggests? Absolutely not. This is about accountability, not fear-mongering.
And you're doing it in a way we've never seen before, because very few people have kept you from speaking out. But this is where we are now. Well, we're right here now. And you see, I beat the music. I beat the music.
Whoopi Goldberg went off again, and Bill Maher didn't hold back. What was meant to sound insightful came out as pure chaos, leaving her panel frozen. Her latest, ICE lurking everywhere and random deportations. Then a wild pivot to free speech. Tracking criminals isn't guesswork, and scrapping the system. Absurd. Meanwhile, those silent during real problems suddenly scream outrage. Facts refuse to bend, leaving The View with nothing but hysteria, drama, and unintentional comedy.
She says stupid shit on a regular basis. They just happen to coincide. But can I just say this? I had on last week Ira Glasser, former longtime head of the ACLU, talking about free speech. Whoopi Goldberg, who, by the way, I hope is still a friend. We can disagree with each other. Should not be canceled or put off her show, as much as I totally disagree with her crazy statement.
Alright, now here's where I have to push back on Bill Maher. Of course I stand for free speech. I'd never support silencing anyone. But Whoopi Goldberg isn't just speaking her mind. Her mind seems to be on permanent overdrive, churning out nonsense faster than anyone can follow. Her wild takes aren't just cringe-worthy. They're dragging down ratings and turning The View into a daytime disaster. Let's be real, ABC should consider pulling the plug before the show follows every other dying legacy media program into oblivion. CNN and MSNBC quietly sidelined their primetime anchors before credibility hit rock bottom. The same mercy move needs to happen here. Imagine a world where daytime political talk actually made sense, instead of being hijacked by fever dreams and performative outrage. That's the kind of progress America deserves. Here's the kicker. Whoopi and her co-hosts don't truly value free speech. They only support viewpoints that align with their narrative. Dissenting opinions, instantly mocked, dismissed, or silenced. Hypocrisy doesn't even begin to cover it. It's controlled speech disguised as virtue. And their ratings plummeting. The public isn't buying the act anymore. Take their latest gripe about wokeness. They blame conservatives for twisting the term, yet they're the ones who weaponized it first, turning social awareness into a circus of identity politics, pronoun policing, and reality denial. They redefine crime, morality, and even history to fit their narrative, rewriting the story of women, progress, and social justice like they're the sole authors. Spoiler, they're not. Modern wokeness didn't liberate women. It tripped over its own contradictions, prioritizing ideology over real-world progress and abandoning biological reality and common sense in the process. Audiences see it. Voters see it. Ratings prove it. The View isn't influencing anymore. It's self-destructing. At this pace, Whoopi and her crew don't need to be canceled. They're already making themselves irrelevant. They traded debate for drama, facts for fantasy, and credibility for ideological rants. And the viewers, they're done tuning in. The View is collapsing under the weight of its own absurdity, and no one will miss it when it finally falls.